what's going on, everybody? My name is Chad, formerly of the El Chato Trap House. And this week, the cat's trying to get under the door. I'll be right back. Alright, I was told that on YouTube, if you want to get anywhere, it's either boobs or kittens. So, this is Bagheera. Click the like button. You can pet it for 1 like. Go for it. Now, as much as I would love to get scratched by this thing for the hour it's gonna take me to film this, you're going somewhere else. Well, now that that's over, this week's video, I don't think is necessary, but I think is probably a good exercise in humility. I was kind of scrolling over the various conversations that happen in the various chat rooms on my Discord. If you guys don't know, I have a Discord with over 300 of you beautiful weeaboo kids, and I'm one disappointed parent. So you can go over there, check it out. It doesn't cost any money. You can get to talk to me all of the time throughout the week, even though I only make 1 video a week. You can also know when I'm going live on Twitch. Maybe get glimpses of future things coming up. Whatever it happens to be, you can go there. But I was glancing, creeping, if you will, and I kind of noticed people talking about other YouTubers and comment sections about Japanese and how there are people who claim to pass the JLPT but struggle knowing how to use ka correctly, which is like one of the first things that you learn. And I'm very critical of the JLPT. I'm doubtful that it's actually a good representation of proficiency, but I feel like that's just, if you don't know how to use a question mark, I feel like you're probably lying that you passed the test. Just me. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, right? But beyond that, we're talking about YouTubers that seem poor at Japanese, but who are claiming to have passed the N1 and all this stuff. I can't really speak to any of those channels, but I understand from the YouTuber's perspective, as I do this as a job, this is my 9 to 5, as Dolly Parton would say, I can understand wanting to tailor your content towards your strengths, right? Showing the aspects that are good, because that's how you pay rent, and then maybe minimizing the bad. That doesn't bother me, right? I'm okay with you focusing on the good. That doesn't hurt me. The thing that is troubling is when you claim you're very, very good at something and try to sell people your method when you're bad at it to make money. That seems disingenuous. So, I wanted to kind of talk about this for myself. This is not attacking any other channel. This is what Chad is insecure about. My Japanese, the things that I'm not good at in Japanese, because believe it or not, gentlemen, I'm not very good at many things. This includes Japanese, but is not limited to that. I cannot underwater basket weave. I don't like splinters under my nails. I can't write on chalkboards. There's something about hairy chests that make me uneasy. There's many things that I'm not good at, and yeah, on my channel, I tend to put forward the same as everybody else, my good side, right? The stuff that I'm good at, the stuff that I like, the stuff that I'm very knowledgeable about. But today, hopefully, for anyone out there that also feels like they look at all these YouTubers and, oh, look at how far they come and look at how good they are. I don't think I could ever be that. I don't think that I could ever do that. Okay, I'm with you. I'm on the same page. I look at some of these YouTubers and go, holy crap, they're aliens. That's the only explanation. And that's not the only explanation. They've worked hard over a long period of time and they've loved the process, and that's why they're that good. But even those people have weaknesses. And I'm not putting myself on their tier, right? I have many deep, crippling weaknesses in Japanese that I want to share with you. Not to get pity points. I know that if I put in the time and I focus on any one of these things over a year or 2, they'll not be weaknesses anymore. They'll be strengths. But for whatever reason, be it time constraints in my normal Japanese studies or just not really interested, I'm weak at these aspects. And so I want to share that with you guys so I can be upfront, maybe build a wall of trust, a bridge, as they say, to the listener who doesn't then just look at me and go, Mr. Peta Chad over here, who uses D's instead of R's. This kid, maybe this will become more realistic. Maybe this will be more like a friendship and less like a fanship. Anyways, that's my goal. Maybe I succeed at it, maybe I don't, but let's talk about what I suck at. The very first thing that I feel I suck at badly is forming sentences in Keigo. Now this is a little A and B, right? Because I understand Keigo just fine. I hear it spoken to me at convenience stores in my daily life. I hear it at universities. I hear it at jobs. I hear it when I go out to a restaurant. I hear it at the train station. I hear it in anime. I hear it in movies. I understand it. That's not the issue. In Japanese, or I suppose in any language, but I can't quote any other languages because I don't know any other languages. There's a big difference from comprehension going into the old noodle and forming things in the noodle and exporting that in a PNG format. I don't think, okay, I need to stop editing as much as I'm editing. That St. Chatty's Day video really Really took it out of me. Anyways, it's a different skill set, right? Like being able to identify speech, individual syllables that are spoken to you and separate them from other syllables, having that reconcile in your weird noodle bank with what the word actually is, and then processing it, right? Processing it either monolingually, so you're understanding it just in Japanese without transitioning, or if you're in the newer stages of Japanese, connecting that to an English little bit or verb in your head. That's fine with me. I can do that any day of the week in Keigo. But forming it, my God, I'm so bad at forming Keigo sentences. I think this is probably the first thing I always admit to people. And this is also like, to give you some context, it's not that I don't want to learn it, I just don't care. It doesn't involve my daily life, right? So I do this for a job, whether I'm in Japan for half the year, whether I'm in America for half the year. I don't have to talk to people like that. It never comes up. If I'm at a restaurant, you don't talk Keigo to them, they talk to you. Like it's different. I also don't work in like a formal business or really any other business. I'm self-employed, so I don't have to deal with that. And also, when I was learning Japanese, right? Yeah, my first year or so, I was at a language school, but I outstudied the pace, so I wasn't learning how to speak in the classroom. I was past that. Where I actually learned to speak was in the gutters of Fukuoka, at the skate parks, at the abandoned shopping centers, where we would skateboard, me and my buddies, and I would hear how they talk, and that's how I would talk. They never once used Keigo with me or around me, and I never needed to use it because I was with them. Who would have guessed? So in my reality, in my life, I don't need it. You, though, if you're planning on, I don't know, working in a university in Japan, or working one of those life soul-sucking jobs that make you wear a tuxedo like a penguin, like a herd of penguins crossing the street in human costumes, if you're doing that, then you're gonna need to know Keigo. I don't, so I don't learn it. And I know if I wanted to learn it, I could get good at it, right? I just get a language partner like I always do, and yes! And I would have Keigo deep in the dark meat. But I don't need it, and it's not really that essential for my life, so I don't really use it. So that's why I'm really bad at Keigo. The next one is pop culture references, and this one has pissed me off for ages, right? In English, if I listen to a rap song, they probably reference something that happened in the 90s. They probably reference another rapper as a diss beef. They'll mention some sort of meme that's going around, right? All of this stuff. This is all pop culture references. These are things that, being in the hive mind of Japanese culture, you kind of pick up. It's in your periphery, you kind of know where it's coming from, and you go, oh, I know that reference. I struggle with this a lot because I have to spend half my year in America, sometimes more. Like this year, I have to spend more than that because I'm freaking, it's Corona times, kids. And so I'm here, and I'll listen to Japanese rap, and you know, if it's talking about money, or bee snatches, or drugs, I got that. I know all the forms of weed in Japanese. But if it brings up, I'll give you guys a good example, right? If some rapper in English brings up pen, pineapple, apple, pen. The meme, this dude. Yeah, that guy. We've all seen it, right? It's in our collective consciousness. So if a rapper brings up any sort of reference to pen, pineapple, apple, pen, or this doofus, we know it. Now, the same is not always for me in Japan. There are memes that go around Japanese Twitter that maybe just don't get to me. Maybe there's something going out online that I just don't get, some sort of chain email that becomes a meme. Maybe there's an actor or a politician or something that happens I don't catch because I don't care about politics there, right? And so I'll hear something in a rap song, which happened, the reason I'm bringing up a rap song was because I was listening to one before this actually happened, before I turned off this on, and there was something that I understood all the words, but I didn't know what it was talking about. Just like you guys, if you were not familiar with pen, pineapple, apple, pen, you may know the words pen, pineapple, apple, pen, right? So you know the words, but you don't understand the reference. And that happens to me a lot when I listen to Japanese music or Japanese comedy even. That happens a ton with me. So again, an easy way to do this is just immerse like hell for years and do nothing but Japanese. And even then, you probably won't get the old references that happened before you immersed without Googling it or whatever, but you'll get pretty much everything since then. My issue is, I'm in graduate school here in America in English. I love my family and I want to talk to them and not just live in a cave. And I also like, you know, American music as well as Japanese music. I like American cinema, I like Japanese cinema. So I'm not just gonna forsake things that I like purely to understand one offhanded reference. Personal preference, you guys might not have that preference, that's a-okay. Do whatever you're gonna do, kid. Look at you look good. You drink enough water? You drink enough water? Go, okay. All right, I get it, Mizu, I get it. Look, I'm just checking on you kids. I'm making sure you're okay. okay? Someone's gotta check on you, because no one checks on me. So I gotta check on you and make sure everything's okay. All right, the next one that I'm bad at, and I actually became bad at this on purpose, writing in Japanese. I should specifically say probably stroke orders. The reason being, and I kind of had this realization in English, right? When I was first gonna learn Japanese, I kind of took, I don't know what you would call it. I took inventory, right? I took stock. And I realized I just don't write in English at all. And also, my English handwriting is bad anyways. I'm fluent in English, but my English handwriting's terrible. I can't even read it, so I never use it. I type on my Mac, right? I type stuff. That's how I kind of have done notes since high school. For me, I was trying to think about what the heck I would even want to do in Japanese or what I wanted to learn, and none of it had to really do with stroke order, so I never learned it. I gave it the old kibasharuni and said, get out of here, devil. And this is constantly stirred up like a stewing broth, as you would say. This stirred up a broth of people who don't shower in my comment section. Not just people who don't shower, but I would say if I were to meet 9 of 10 of the people that have a problem with this, I could taste them. And they're mad because they go, you can learn things better by writing it in a notebook, and they shake their fist because I'm on their lawn as they're telling me this. Okay, fine. I don't think that that's the case because I learned it just fine. In fact, maybe some of you guys know, I work as a translator and kind of an interpreter at a tattoo shop in Japan. I can't write first. Bruh. To say that you need that to study more effectively, maybe there's an argument there, but to say that it's a necessity is just not true. And it's also not important for me. But there's probably tons of you that want to learn Japanese because kanji is really cool. Maybe you guys really like calligraphy or anime about calligraphy. Or maybe you're just a nerd and you like writing, and that's totally cool. I get the typography crowd. But that's just not me. And that's okay. I don't care if I could write certain kanjis as long as I can read it, or as long as I know what the word is to form the sentence and autocorrect can finish it on my computer when I'm typing, I'm okay. And I don't have to be perfect at that. So yeah, not very good at kanji. That's okay. Now this one was really fun. You know, there are certain words that occur so much, maybe in the news, but that don't really occur in like sci-fi manga, and there's lots of words in sci-fi manga that don't really occur in the news. And so if you spend all your time watching Japanese news, I don't care how, like, you could be so good at understanding the Japanese news, but if you go to, I don't know, Ghost in the Shell or something, some sort of other thing, you're gonna struggle. And I felt this so much because I'll go from one sphere, like I can read Harry Potter in Japanese like it's tissue paper, like it's nothing to me. I piss on Ronald Weasley. I'll move over to one of my Endo books that I love, and it's a novel. I think it's a little bit harder, but not by much. And they use so many different words. He talks way more about geography, he talks way more about street names, he talks more about history, he talks more about, he uses way more like terms of phrase and proverbs than I'd ever get in Harry Potter, clearly. But that's because I'm not reading him as much as I read Harry Potter. If I was only reading him, I would get way more comfortable with those references, way more comfortable with the format of his sentences than I would with whoever translated Rowling for Harry Potter. So one of the weaknesses that I have, which is what I'm summarizing here, is spheres of knowledge. I have knowledge in spheres that maybe you guys don't know. I don't know if any of you guys know what a strike on a fishing pole is. So specifically when you're fishing and you see at the end of your rod what that's called, I bet maybe there's plenty of people watching this that are really good at Japanese but don't necessarily know the word they use for that. But that's fine. You guys don't fish. Maybe, I don't know, maybe fish, but maybe you don't fish. But I do. I fish a lot. I love fly fishing. I love fishing in Japan. But because I love that, I have that sphere, right? I understand the lingo. But if you took me to a Ghost in the Shell anime, I'm gonna need Japanese subtitles to help me with the words that I don't know because I'll have to read the kanji and try and figure it out from the kanji. But that's just because I don't really watch sci-fi anime that much. I don't read sci-fi manga that much. So that's something I'm bad at. And I know, again, just like I said before, if I spent a year and only read sci-fi manga and novels and watched sci-fi movies in Japanese, I would probably be pretty good at it. It would stop being a weakness, but it's just not what I'm interested in. Now, the last, but certainly not least, probably the foremost thing that I'm really bad at in Japanese is forgiving myself for messing up. I'm very hard on myself normally for messing up, or if I forget something, I normally just berate myself and beat myself, and I'm so, you've learned this is like an N5 word, you learned this years ago, and how could you not forget it? And I forget it, because that's the process of language learning. Think about this, guys. I think everyone in the community is aware of spaced repetition systems. Do you know why those work? Because you forget things. That's why that works. Unless you have an eidetic memory, you don't forget stuff. I don't even know if that's really real. It might not be real. It might be real. I don't know. I don't watch The Big Bang Theory. I have a life and someone that enjoys my company. But you forget things, and spaced repetition is so effective for really digging into that dark meat, as I said earlier, because when you forget something, it brings it right back to the forefront and you have to work at it again. But if you know something, it saves you time because it's more spaced apart. I think I said this in another video, I don't know, I'll just reiterate it. Kind of my language, the guy that I strive to be like in languages, he's a buddy of mine. He's not a YouTuber, no one's ever heard of him, but he's a good friend of mine and someone that I've always looked up to in language, right? I've wanted to be like this guy. Before I ever really got into language, I met him in Japan, he asked me to go out for curry. And he said, the race to fluency is the race to make 1,000,000 mistakes first. And the person who makes 10 mistakes a day will get there before the person who allows themselves to make no mistakes a day. But the person who allows himself to make 100 mistakes a day will get there 10 times faster. When you get corrected, you relearn the thing, and it's deeper ingrained, one level. And every time you forget, it gets a little bit deeper as long as you keep relearning it, and eventually, dark meat. The process that I've been going through over the years, albeit very, very hard on me, is learning to love myself. Learning to accept me for me, my strengths, my weaknesses, and enjoying the process through all of it, because language learning shows us all of it. It shows us our strengths, it shows us our weaknesses, our highs, our valleys. We make great friends, sometimes we have to lose friends, but that's why we call it a journey, because it really is. It's up and down mountains, through forests, over rivers, and we all end up as the pen, pineapple, apple pen guy. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna leave it this week, guys. If you like this video, be sure to like it down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, feel free to leave them in the comment box down below. I do personally read all of them. Woo, all these lights. You can check me out on Twitch TV/Chad Zimmerman. I stream on there as much as I can. Throughout the week, I also make these videos. Check out the Wicked Miscreant podcast. If you guys didn't watch last week's video, I'm really proud of it. I spent 37 hours editing it. Oh wait, hold on, can't do it yet. Love hard, love deep, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.